The Haunting of Blackwood House. In the desolate town of Blackwood, nestled deep within the mist-shrouded woods, an ancient evil lurked. The townsfolk spoke in hushed whispers of a cursed house that stood at the edge of the forgotten cemetery. It was a place where darkness seemed to seep through the cracks in the rotting wood, where the very air was heavy with a sense of malevolence. The Jenkins family had recently moved to Blackwood, unaware of the sinister reputation that clung to the town. They were drawn to the house by its seemingly affordable price and the allure of a fresh start. Jonathan and Sarah Jenkins, along with their young daughter, Emily, believed they had found their dream home. From the moment they set foot in the house, an unease settled upon them. The creaking floorboards echoed with unseen footsteps, and the shadows danced ominously along the walls. But it was only when night fell that the true terror began. Emily would wake up, drenched in a cold sweat, her heart pounding in her chest. She would see a figure standing at the foot of her bed, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. It would whisper her name in a voice that chilled her to the core, promising unspeakable horrors if she dared to resist. Jonathan and Sarah dismissed their daughter's claims as mere nightmares. But as the days turned into weeks, the signs of possession became undeniable. Emily's once bright and joyful demeanor was replaced by a darkness that seemed to consume her from within. Her eyes turned vacant, devoid of any trace of her former innocence. She would speak in a voice that was not her own, her words dripping with malice. Furniture would levitate in her presence, and the walls would bleed a sinister black substance. Desperate for answers, the Jenkins sought the help of a local priest, Father Thomas. He arrived at their home armed with a crucifix and a Bible, ready to confront the malevolent force that held Emily in its clutches. As Father Thomas performed the exorcism, the air crackled with unholy energy. Emily contorted in ways that defied the laws of nature, her bones audibly snapping as she writhed on the floor. Her voice became a guttural growl, filled with a hatred that seemed to come from an abyss. But despite his best efforts, Father Thomas could not banish the darkness that had taken hold of Emily's soul. The possessed girl laughed, a cold, mirthless sound that echoed through the house, taunting the priest with his failure. Days turned into weeks, and the Jenkins family found themselves prisoners in their own home. The malevolent entity grew stronger with each passing day, its hunger for their souls insatiable. Their bodies became gaunt and frail, their eyes haunted by despair that refused to release its grip. One fateful night, the Jenkins family gathered in the living room, the last flicker of hope extinguished from their eyes. They knew there was no escape from the darkness that had consumed them, and as the clock struck midnight, the house itself seemed to come alive. Walls shook, emitting a deafening roar as if the very foundations of the house were being torn asunder. The family huddled together, their bodies trembling with fear as a blinding light enveloped them. And at that moment, they knew it was the end. When the light dissipated, the Jenkins family was gone, swallowed by the malevolent force that had possessed their home. The cursed house stood silent once more, its secrets buried within its decaying walls. Years later, the town of Blackwood remained haunted by the tale of the Jenkins family. Locals would pass by the abandoned house, their steps quickening, afraid of catching a glimpse of the tormented souls that were rumored to wander its halls. And so, the house stood as a grim reminder of the horrors that can lurk in the most unsuspecting places, a testament to the insidious nature of evil. The town of Blackwood would forever be scarred by the memory of the Jenkins family, a cautionary tale etched into the very fabric of their existence. But the darkness remained, patiently biding its time, waiting for another unsuspecting family to fall victim to its insatiable hunger. And when that time came, the true horror of Blackwood would once again be unleashed, leaving in its wake a trail of broken souls and shattered dreams.